Hi, good morning. This is Teacher Felbert. Today is January 20. Okay, it's a Saturday. It's a long Saturday. Okay, so some years ago, I did pick this book from Akalakal in Cubao. Actually, the Akalakal uh, usually is venued at the bottom of that atas nila. Okay. Ground floor and there. They're spreading the kalakal. So I got this at 50 pesos. Okay, so the title of the book is Reflective Edge. Okay, so there are hard hitting questions. Okay, about executives, not really just senior executives, so I think it is for everybody. Okay, so I kind of want to engage into extemporaneous. Okay. That's what I loved doing many years ago. Okay, when I was college and even when I was high school. Okay, so just today I realized I would do this. Okay, so I kind of picked a random what would be the number of questions for today, and I got one. Okay, so the question is for today is how can you retain a strong sense of who you are while remaining flexible and adaptable at the same time? Okay, so there, how I would explain this. This is very crucial. Okay, so yeah, I've been talking actually about myself being an internal external auditor. Okay, so I did work as internal auditor of Obi Montessori for like 5 years and branches and yeah, and the affiliates. And when I left, I freelanced as an external auditor, the external auditor of Obi Montessori, the late Julita Tamayaw, with the part of Vilmoldea actually got me to work with them as a freelance, as a part-time external auditor. Uh, we would call that on a per project basis. Okay, there and it's been a while. Yeah, actually, and well, Ana Pagtulunan, who used to be accounting manager of Obi Montessori, the husband, Redentor Pagtagulunan, is the vice president of FEU and RMF, the one in Fairview. So 2 years after I left OB, I think that was in 2004. Okay, so they got me to be working as consultant, internal auditor to handle the hospital pharmacy because it used to be a concession. Okay, and yeah, so I did work there for a year. So I had a contract to be working with the hospital pharmacy for a year. So Kit, well, back then I was retainer accountant of Scola Progresso. It's owned by Kit Torres. Yeah, Kit. No, sorry, Reyes. Okay, and Tucci, the wife. Okay, so it was an easy transition to be working with FEU Hospital Pharmacy. Okay, as consultant internal auditor, but I had to work with a programmer from Luisita Corporation to an Interlac, okay? Because, by the way, FEU Josephine Reyes, uh, who, well, was tomato kit Reyes and Tucci, the wife, was sister of Cory Aquino. Okay, they're like Kuangkos. Okay, so the consultant, software engineer, gladly, well, Ronnie or Ron, I don't know, I forgot his name exactly, but he did work with me to set up the hospital pharmacy. Okay, so there. So he's a brilliant programmer. Okay, software engineer, but I don't know for whatever reason, uh, being an IT graduate or yeah, a software engineer for that matter, there's never an ample exposure with accounting, so they could not understand the normal balances of like an assets, a liability, and an equity. Okay, so but as brilliant as they are, they could actually customize an accounting system according to your needs. Or no, a software or like a system that would be connecting to the mother general ledger system, but they could not actually understand more profoundly, okay, of the financial impact of the system that they're doing towards the general ledger of the company. Okay, so I was hired as consultant internal auditor to suppose set up the hospital pharmacy, but it extended until setting up the inventory and supplies system of the hospital itself. Okay, because they learned that there are medicines, vials that are very expensive, okay, that were supposed to be in the custodianship of the ER department, okay, but were actually shelved in the pharmacy across the hospital, okay, so it was like stolen. Or the vials were actually stolen from the ER and then get sold at the hospital, at the pharmacy across the hospital. In other words, there was no proper accountability of the issuances of the medicines from the supplies department to the cost center. And one example of that is the ER. Okay, so there. I made quite a good job, yeah, I guess. So you set up the hospital pharmacy and eventually the inventory system of the hospital itself. Okay. So I just wanted to tell you this, okay? Because I'm never the best internal auditor there can ever be, you know. But as far as I'm concerned, I think because I work from the heart, I know thrill, even sleep. Okay? So I wanted to, like, being a teacher, maybe, and being a practitioner, I have to address this because I learned of so many multi-million, multi-billion corruptions, okay, happening in government agencies here in the Philippines using the IT system to blur the operations of a certain regulating body or a certain agency so that they can actually milk or like, how do you call this, run around revenue streams, okay, so they're not supposed to be towards their company, it's supposed to be towards the government entity, but the programmers actually tightened the IT system because a certain certified public accountant was concocting everything, because in the past, a software engineer for that matter, wherever school you graduated from, Ateneo, UP Diliman, or UP or Harvard, they never had a substantive knowledge of accounting. That's why they always hired an internal auditor before implementation of the softwares. I'm telling this because these are the sources of massive corruption there have been in this country. Okay? So, I have to address this because it's very pathetic that there are so many Filipinos that are massively handicapping how to survive, but there are certain people, that can be counted in my fingers, to have milked a certain regulating body or a certain government agency just for them, when it's supposed to be people's money, when it's supposed to be the government's money, so that the people can benefit from it. But because of what they're doing with the system, trying to blur everything, because maybe the officers or maybe the executive directors of a certain government agency could not understand it very well. So I would say this, that because right now they're actually over kind of like, doing some sort of a revamp, so that BS information technology could have like a profound association with accounting, because it's really been like a massive source of corruption. Okay? A certified public accountant, not really a practitioner, could always dictate the software engineer for that matter to do this and that. Okay? Without actually realizing how they could impact, okay, the general ledger system or the accounting system of the company. Okay? Because I'm a teacher myself, and I'm an internal, external auditor, and I know this. Okay? So we have to do something about this. Or even a certain company for that matter, don't you ever rely a software engineer without obtaining or without actually hiring an independent internal auditor to actually see how this system can be implemented into your company, or for that matter into a government agency or a government entity, because corruption can actually be derived from it, can emanate from there. Okay, so it's really been like a challenge for us internal external auditor practitioners, because we come across different corruption sources and stories that are actually emanating from the IT, and all these software engineers would never kind of like realize that when they did the system actually. Okay? Because they didn't have ample knowledge of what accounting is all about. They don't know what's the normal balance of a cash. They don't know what's a normal balance of an accounts receivable. They don't know what's a normal balance of a capital or a revenue or an expense. Okay? So when an accountant practitioner, or not even a practitioner, who would do some maneuver into that system, then corruption could really like thrive. And I'm telling this because it's so pathetic a practice, because there are so many Filipinos that are really so hungry, and there are some elite that rake in massive income from all their sorcery, and so pathetic that these are not addressed. Okay? So I'm not a certified public accountant, but I have been doing internal, external auditing works. So I understand this. That's why I'm telling you, because uh, after I come across with this, what can you do? Yeah, maybe I can do some bending with other works, but not so much of a multi-million, multi-billion corruption emanating from all these IT systems that are infused and that are put in place in various government entities. We have to stop this. Okay? So every internal, external audit practitioner in the country should hold hands together to destroy this. Because the corruption is so immense, huge, that handicap a lot of Filipino people. Yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, I guess it's high time that we guys have to, stand up and articulate whatever we see and find for the benefit of the country, for the benefit of the Filipino people that are, starving, that are hungry. But there are a few that are living like they are gods. How about that? Okay, so I hope we guys, internal audit practitioners, can help each other tighten this. Never allow a software engineer that doesn't have substantive knowledge of accounting to implement and institutionalize IT systems that they didn't know. Okay? They have to be substantiated with truths and with realities that this could impact the revenue stream of a certain entity, and for that matter, it's a government entity. Okay? So, there, I hope I'll make a difference out of this. What I'm saying is, I'm never the best internal auditor the country has ever produced. But what makes me different from the others is because I work from the heart, and like what I said, even a slip I no trail because of that. Let's help each other. Come on. Oh, we can't be sleeping until we die. Okay? So there, I hope I'm alright. I hope you guys are alright as well. Okay? Okay, so good morning again. This is Teacher Felbert. I'm 49 years old. I'm an artist, teacher, filmmaker, and I freelance as internal, external auditor. Okay? So there. Bye. I love you, Kubaw.